Hello, my name is Teresita Blanco, there's your sister, and we're continuing with Life Makeover. Let's finish doing the sound test. Alright, so we have sound. It was a breezy clear day, and I was sharing a wobbly bus with a packing copper.
Uncle, just tell me. Is it true that village is mysterious?
An elevated woman in a co-pilot seat was chatting enthusiastically with the driver.
Miss, you want to know it too, right? Are you here because of Larry's promo video too?
As the driver focused on the driver and didn't answer, the woman turned to me, and I was taken by surprise. Yes, I watched that too. A local promo video that became a hit on Vanna because of Larry, and we're heading to the village in the promo.
Uncle, is the spring of inspiration real?
Inspiration struck when one drank from the spring of inspiration deep in the village. This sounded like nonsense, and yet many curious tubers were drawn to it. It's probably lourdes water that does everything. Whatever the visitor needs, whatever. However, I had no reception either. After seeing the promo, I immediately contacted Larry. Larry was also in the village, but he was evasive and invited me to visit the village. The next I knew, the bumpy mountain road was over, and the bus stop at the bus stop near the village. The couple was still dining in the cagey driver, and when I got off and met up with Larry was waiting for me.
You must be tired from your journey. Leave these to me.
Larry carried some of the luggage for me, and then noticed two behind me.
Huh? Who are these guys?
Larry indeed seemed to be used to the two's intense gaze and waited for my answer with a smile. At first I smiled, told Larry that the two were tourists too.
I see. Let's go to the village together.
The youngster standing beside Larry then led us to the village. And it was fine on the way, and why did it get cloudy here? Alright then, to the weather change. As soon as we enter the village, the couple demanded to visit the spring of inspiration.
There is no rush. Before that, you should know something.
They asked the dogs not to get near the mountains out of the forest and to avoid offending the god of mountains. The god of mountains seemed to intrigue the couple, and they looked at each other and they went on asking questions.
Our village relies on wooden crafts thanks to these nearby mountains. We must respect the god of mountains.
After the instructions, I was about to ask Larry about the next part, and the woman approached us.
Miss, you're going to visit the spring too, right? Can we go together?
And as she asked me, her eager eyes focused on Larry beside me. Larry, is that okay?
As long as you don't mind.
Great! Mr. Larry, we are your fans. About that promo?
On the way, I learned their names, Flora and AC, and they both came for Larry. And they shared many questions about the village and the spring of inspiration, but Larry dodged them all.
It is great that you like it, but you better visit it yourselves and find the answers.
Do you mean this spring of inspiration is real? Then I must try it.
Well, I'm afraid I'm going to disappoint you.
When we arrived at the spring deep in the forest, a no drinking placard was beside it. So the spring of inspiration is poison or radioactive? The two got depressed and expected AC even suddenly muttered.
Something unpleasant happened before, and the village decided to set a placard.
Something unpleasant.
When no one was looking, someone jumped into the spring and nearly drowned. Things like that.
I couldn't tell if Larry was serious or joking, and I tried to find some clues from the spring. Larry was amused by my actions and pulled me away from the spring, and then he explained to the other two.
Don't worry. Though you can't drink the spring, the village may also inspire you.
After this, I noticed that AC came near and the spring and got some spring water with his own bottle. And when I was about to warn AC, Larry gestured me to remain silent, and he saw it too. Filled with wonder, I returned to the village and unexpectedly that cloud hung low and it started to rain.
Oh, it's raining already. How about we call it a day?
Looking into the raining sky, he looked out and opened his umbrella and held out his hand to me.
Miss Detective, it's been a long day. Let me walk you back.
Faster and faster came the rain, and before we got completely out, Larry sent us to the hotel. Though tired from the journey, I was haunted by the wonders about the village. Just asleep in a sitting, I heard someone knocking outside the door.
That couple and her. Be careful. Be careful.
Is that Larry? What did he say? When I listened carefully, there was only the whistling in the wind, and I shivered and I pulled the quilt over closer. I must forget and I better get to sleep for and wear something restful and sleep tomorrow. I forward the change. The next morning, I was suddenly jolted awake by the yell of a woman. It was still gloomy and rainy, and before I could tidy up, there was a sharp knocking on the door. Outside the door was frightened by Flora, and when I opened the door, she almost jumped me. Wow, what happened?
The first floor was buried, and everyone is gone.
I followed Flora out of the room and saw that most part of the first floor was buried in mud. And the villagers who should have been at the front desk were gone, and the mud was all over the furniture. Don't worry, it should be a landslide caused by the rain, right? And where's your boyfriend? Get him out quickly. So there was a landslide and the hotel people left us here to die? Alright. It's 1 star for this hotel for TripAdvisor. In case of a disaster, they let you there to die. And my word, she came to herself and then suddenly grabbed my arm and something happened to Acey. And seeing her nervous face, I immediately headed for the hotel door. Go back and watch him first and I'll go get help. I ran into the villagers and Larry when I stepped out of the hotel. And with no time to ask why they disappeared and appeared together, I hurried to inform them of the situation.
I know, let's leave it to them here. Go check Ozzy with me.
Larry nodded to the villagers and then walked me towards Acey's room. The minute we walked into the couple's room, I was startled by the appearance of Acey. Half lying on the bed with clothes half torn up, he was waving his arms and grinding weirdly now and then.
He was suddenly like this when he got up this morning, not responding to me at all. I could not get near him.
That empty bottle over there, he filled it with his spring water yesterday. Did he drink it? Oh yeah, there was definitely something off with the funny water. Larry seemed to take note of the empty bottle and gave one of his weird green faces. Do you contact a doctor? Maybe it is a local cause and you can call a doctor.
Well, it might be a little difficult. No one can get in or outside the village now.
What?
It rained all night long and the only road was blocked by the landslide.
Flora and I both froze in silence, and the only sound was a creepy laughter of Acey.
Ding! New task message.
I had ever sang out in the first surprise and then suddenly alert note. An outfit from his kid. Well, we're dealing with a lunatic who was poisoned by spring water. Time to change my outfit for whatever reason. Because this is a fashion game. The hell if it makes sense if the timing of it. Who cares if the timing of it makes sense or not? moment, the village swarmed into the room after hearing about Ace's
The
commotion.
doctor can't get in? What about my boyfriend?
The villagers looked embarrassed and whispered uncomfortably at her questioning.
I'll be frank. He ate nothing yesterday, but he suddenly became like this after drinking your spring water.
No one could accuse AC of drinking the spring water, and so there was a bigger problem. As the road to the mountainous village became impassable, there was no way to save AC.
No misbehaved tourists, right? Something must be wrong with the spring water, so you forbid drinking it.
Things were getting out of hand, and yet the villagers opened and shut their mouths, and this made me wonder.
Miss Flora, calm down first. The road is being repaired, and your boyfriend can see a doctor soon. Although the landslide didn't come to the second floor, but you should stay out our houses for safety in case. You should get some rest and you can be by his side. How's that?
Maybe worrying about her boyfriend's health, though Paul Flora relented and accepted the offer. We stayed in different houses while Larry and the villagers went to check the spring. Soon after, a sudden a soft call came from outside the door, and Flora knocked on the door. What are you doing here? She smiled nervously and invited me to investigate the village with her.
Don't you think the village is a bit strange? I heard Larry call you Miss Detective earlier. Maybe.
I hurried to explain that it was just a nickname, but Flora still stared at me for help.
I can't believe those villagers. Please, Ozzy gets creepy again.
Well, to be honest, I felt it too.
Great! When I came to your houses, I noticed that many houses were just repaired. And I suspected...
Hearing my answer, Flora gladly took my hand and whispered to me about her findings. Do you mean that what happened is not an accident? She nodded stealthily and led me to a few houses and there was sense of restoration. The hotel was very rough from a different decoration style and it should be built in recent days.
They may want to sacrifice buried travelers like us to the god of mountains.
Think you're insane, Flora. I was startled by her wild conjectures and began speechless. Just then a familiar voice came.
Wow, what are you two doing here?
Larry, you're back. What about the spring?
Well, bad news.
The road to the spring was closed by the village as the spring overflowed in the storm and also became wet. And also because of what happened to AC.
So what are you doing? Can you bring me along?
I expected obedience from Flora, yet her eyes were twisting and she seemed a bit resistant. I can understand her because Larry was close to the villagers, but it's better to act together. Shortly after Larry joined us, Flora suddenly drew me aside and whispered in my ear.
Watch out! Something seems to be wrong with him too. I suspect they're working together.
Oh, they're not, Flora. Her skeptical statement took me by surprise, and then came a message from Varna. What to wear when visiting a sick friend? The gentle and clean outfit with a soothing effect. Time to do a wardrobe change in the middle of a storm, just because. It was still cloudy and rainy the next day, and the clouds hung low over the village in my heart. And when we explored the vegetation, and he wasn't getting any better and started nothing from time to time. But he looked fine. There wasn't a fever or any other illness. But what concerned me more was what happened last night according to Florida.
Did you hear it? There was a sudden loud noise from outside last night.
So I went to bed early, and there was only one old man in my house. I stayed, and he was in bed early too. She danced as she described the loud noise, voice outside, and the shadows reflected in the house. How strange, so she talked to Larry. Larry often appeared from nowhere and after general investigation, but at the time he was with the villagers, nowhere to be found. Finally, we stopped Larry going to shake the roof outside the villagers. Larry, do you have a minute? And we would like to ask you about the village. Hearing that, Larry gestured for the villagers to go first and turned to us with all ears up. Flora told me what she heard and saw, but for some reason she looked weak in front of the smiling Larry.
It was probably an illusion. Didn't you say you didn't hear it?
Forget it. He won't tell us. Remember? We're here for the spring because of him.
Well, what does this have to do with the spring?
You use spring rumor to get tourists here so we can be sacrificed to the god of mountains.
Flora also drank some weird sketchy mountain water. The argument came to nothing and we just parted ways. Flora and Nancy wanted to go back and look. Flora wanted to go back and look after Artsy while I went back to the rest and thought about what happened. Larry was so familiar with the village, but he kept dodging the questions. He must be hiding something. The suspicious Flora made me worry whether I could believe her. I let out a long sign and watched the rain go to the window only to find it's not Larry. In the rain and mist, a male figure was walking towards the spring and soon disappeared at the end of the road. Without a second thought, I rushed out to follow. I must have lost in the rain after those twists and turns in the mountain.
Watch out! Stop there!
Larry suddenly sounded from behind me, and then I was pulled back a few steps. Larry, why are you here?
This should be my line, right?
I was surprised to see Larry behind me, and when I turned back, the figure already disappeared into the fog. I just saw someone heading over to the spring of inspiration. I thought it was you, so I chased him.
Happy to see that you care about me, but it is too dangerous here.
I was lost, but when looking down, I found that I was standing at the edge of a steep mountain path. I almost gave in for that, but thankfully Larry held me up in time.
Be careful. Come on. I'll take you back first, okay?
So like the main character chasing after a weird shadow almost walked off a cliff. Gotta be careful in misty mountainous places. The fog of the mountain trail were no different to Larry, and soon he brought me back to the village. Fog, mountains, weird stuff happening to the village, and we in Silent Hill. Because Silent Hill recently left the US and now it's like going to other places. It was a relief to see the reassuring light, but a dark figure flashed behind a tree and not far away.
Don't worry. Probably an animal hiding from the rain. It will leave soon. On the contrary, I am more worried about you. Well, I will tell you.
Larry breathed a sigh of quitting and came near the whisper in my ear.
You may find the truth you want in this room.
Though scared inside, I believed Larry and searched the room. The truth, what exactly does it want me to find?
Hey, girl. Are you looking for those belonging to Lally?
I was taken aback by an old man who kept mumbling about Lally to himself.
I haven't seen Lally for a long time. Alas, Lally is a good boy, and he will not forget us. He is close to the spring,
I said it long before. Come back often, for the god of the mountains misses him too.
Should I help you inside first? It is still raining outside. The old man nodded blankly and he looked around and seemed to forget what he was outside. By the way, where do you put Lolly's things? The old man followed me inside and I asked about what he had just mentioned.
Oh, Lolly's things. I put them under the roof, as he told me to.
When I was about to get to the old man to sit down and go for the things, there was a noise from my back. And as I started to look back and saw a dark figure leaving from under the eaves. It's a Flora was she carried in her arms. And she was so similar to the dark figure before I found out if she had been following me. At the terrific scared, I immediately followed the figure, but soon I ran into someone.
What happened? Why such a warm hug?
I could spare no time for roasting and quickly told Larry what I had just seen.
Lolly, there you are. The girl was just looking for your drawing book.
Lolly, so he means Larry. I was suspiciously at the small talk between Larry and the old man before he turned around and walked to me.
Oh, don't look at me that way. We have more important things to do, don't we?
Well, but you better explain to me later, Lolly. Larry shrugged and came with me to the house where Flora and Nancy were staying.
This way.
There was a talking he said, and I came to the side window on Larry's signal and picking the window.
We can claim the story of a survivor and the sacrifice to the god of mountains was found by the spring.
Inside the house, Flora was holding a camera, and the spring shrouded in the fog was displayed on the screen.
A ghostly kid figure beside the spring. This graffiti book appeared when the kid disappeared. How is that?
Not bad. We must make the best of this valuable information. I followed for days to get it.
Hey, I pretended to be sick. Anyway, it's gonna be a big hit.
Also, those two idiots were like just making a scene in order to for money purposes. As I listened attentively, the cold rain from the east landed on the back of my neck, and I was almost scared, and I almost screamed. Oh no, I made a noise, and they seemed to have found us. But there are people that make money out of giving terrible reviews to places as a form of blackmail. And then they force the people to pay them lots of money to remove their awful review. Almost as soon as we got noticed, Larry pulled me up and ran towards the back behind the house.
Follow me!
The rain and fog could not stop Larry, and soon the couple were left behind. Haha, they didn't follow, right? They probably got tagged by Pyramid Head. When I gasped and looked back at the foggy road, I found we were by the Spring of Inspiration. I do not expect them to be acting at the beginning. And what was the video they said?
I get it. Look at this.
Larry showed me the page no one found, and two familiar faces were clearly inside. But AC and Flora, and they are bloggers who make outdoor sidekick videos. They make money out of it. Okay.
They should have planned it all to create a buzz with the spring.
But they tricking those viewers. I was so worried. Now that I thought about it, those two were strange, especially the change of attitude towards Larry and me. They found that Larry might be on the villager side, so they turned to me for help.
Well, I noticed it too, but you didn't seem to trust me all that much.
I was pleased for Flora changed my mind. I'm sorry, I should have trusted you more.
I'm just kidding. I couldn't figure out what they were up to, so I didn't want to tip them off. I never thought that's what they wanted.
Larry joined the investigation to find the two's purpose. Jesus, so I felt nothing.
No. Without you, we are still in the dark. By the way, I told you before that.
Larry pulled me to an ancient tree next to the spring as if to comfort me. And he pulled back the thick branches and leaves, and a small treehouse appeared as if by magic. Ah, a treehouse, and it was so mini. It's a very elaborate treehouse.
Welcome to the secret base of Larry.
Not only is small enough for a kid, the treehouse is cozy on the inside. Doodle papers, scraps of storybooks, scattered crayons and puppets in curious shapes. I can almost imagine boy Larry playing here, and it must have been funny. If a dog tea party is thrown in this small treehouse, a sweet and spirited earth will be perfect. Time for a word of change.
Larry, come on! The meal is ready!
Laughing and talking like old friends, Larry and the villagers waiting for him enter the village. And he learned that the rainy season was approaching and Grandma's treehouse had to be repaired.
Thank you all for taking care of it.
It was nothing. You have helped the village so much over the years. We remember clearly. But...
What? Any trouble?
The villagers started to tell Larry about their troubles morosely. The village depended on forestry, yet most young ones worked in the cities, and the decline is inevitable.
Well, I heard that you turned to rural tourism. What about now?
oh, talk about that. The hotel is built, but no tourists at all. No one wants to come to the deep forest.
Yeah, cause like horror movies are giving like deep forest like a horrible reputation, cause that's where the stabbers serial killers live. But that's mostly only in the U.S. I figure that other forests are safe in other countries. Larry looked up for the other road outside which led to the spring. So you lived here with your grandma when you were a kid? Larry nodded his head, and I remember the swaying hyacinthus in the ward and the tree house in his mind.
They took care of Grandma and I. After my grandma passed away, I often came back to visit them.
I see, that's why he knows the village so well and the villagers trust him.
I spent some unforgettable time with Grandma in the village.
In the tender gaze of Larry, the memories seemed to be appearing this
When I
spring.
had a tantrum with my grandma, I would sneak over to the treehouse to write and draw. I would only go back until the sun went down, and she would scold me again.
That's for sure, she must have been very worried about you.
How I wish to be scolded by her again. Those villagers know this secret base, so when promoting the spring,
The villagers thought of the famous Larry and called it the Spring of Inspiration. They didn't expect it would go viral and attract some ill-intentioned tourists. We went to gaze we quietly gazed at the spring until the mind was suddenly alerted. And for a muddy outfit, like something clean and pure, spring and girlish at the same time.
Larry, here you are.
sister was running towards us and was spotting me, and he made her to shut his mouth.
It's okay. I've already told her.
As Larry shook his head, the youngster then took a long breath and confessed to me.
Miss, I'm really sorry. We didn't expect so many tourists, so we got tired at night.
At night,
Do you remember that Flora heard noises last night?
of course I do. Didn't she state the scene herself?
You have wronged her. But she did come out suddenly on her own last night.
The villagers chose to repair their houses at night, but they were seen by Flora unexpectedly. So this is the reason for the strange noises last night. Repair marks in your absence in the morning.
Exactly, Miss Detective. You were smart.
Don't blame Larry. He said they might be filming, so we asked him to keep quiet to protect our reputation. He told us to take more care of you, yet that terrible thing happened the next day.
So this is what Larry meant that night. By the way, while they rushed to find Larry, what happened? The youngster continued. AC was back to normal and the couple insisted to leave regardless of the poor roads.
Well, it looks like it's time to end the no one found drama.
Flora and AC were astonished to see Larry and me. They must have found out that I was sleeping back then.
A moment, please.
What do you want? As you had a hard time recovering. We don't want to stay in this creepy place anymore.
I can understand that, and I'm sorry that you didn't get the best inspiration trip. But something must be made clear before you leave. Think of it as an oracle from the god of the mountains.
Larry talked to them smiling, and I don't know what he said, but the couple looked worse and worse. Since it was revealed they told the leader what they had shot and returned to the village in disgust. This is the end, right? Now it's time for a wardrobe change. Hot and beautiful dress, it should be light and every too. after the rain stopped after several days, and floor and everything had left suddenly. I should go back to, but before that, I stopped by the spring of inspiration where Larry and the others were cleaning out the mess caused by the rain. And Larry greeted me with a relaxed smile and we surveyed the spring of inspiration after the rain. I feel purified and relaxed whenever I visit.
Our efforts will not be in vain if more have the same idea as you.
Larry was thinking about a shooting an official promotional film. You're going to show up and explain it. I was surprised to see Larry nodding his head, and I thought that he would choose another way around it. And this time the name should be
Still the spring of inspiration, but not being inspired by drinking the spring water.
Larry's tender gaze fixed on the mountains and trees reflected in the spring, and then I started understanding. Natural beauty is a source of inspiration, right?
Bingo!
I suddenly thought of something when seeing them busy with the promotional film. Will your secret base be in the film?
I don't think so. Well, please help me keep this secret.
A few days after I left the village, discussing over the spring of inspiration started to die off, and a new promo was well received, but without the mystery, it was not as popular as before. But still, many visit for the natural center, and I think villagers will be happy too. Just then the doorbell of the agency rang, and Larry was outside smiling.
Hi, Miss Detective. Surprise!
Larry, what are you doing here? A little surprise and inside was for Larry to enter, and he was holding a small wooden box.
Let me guess. Are you wondering what's in my hand?
Larry raised a small wooden box to my eye as if to show it off, and inside of it was a miniature wooden treehouse. This is your little treehouse. The wood carving immediately reminded me of Larry's secret base beside the spring of inspiration.
The raining season will soon be over. The villagers want you to come back. Plus, they would show you a real treehouse.
A real treehouse.
You'll know by then. That said, keep this as a reward for keeping my secret.
I took the wooden carving and found that even the details of Larry's house had been reproduced perfectly. The villagers told me that they were good at woodcrafting and they made it themselves. Larry saw through me and admitted that, and he even took credit for helping craft it. He helped too, cheering for them.
You think so? That made me sad. I must invite you back again to prove it to you. Will you come?
Another one seeing a very serious look on Larry.
Great. I look forward to it.
Alright, time to put on a gentle pastoral outfit.
even the prettiest snowfall.
I have been cutting an endless nightmare fighting my way back to consciousness. A low rumble should clear, and then the night erupted with vibrant, bright colors. Fireworks blown like silent skies, and their glow pierced my still blurred vision.
Over here! The fireworks are really beautiful.
Wait, isn't this the island from my graduation trip? My body locked up, and the thunderous beat of my heart synchronized with the fireworks rhythm. These weren't just ordinary firework action prepared them just for me. But any moment she's gonna collapse and then her body will grow colder. I tried to run to her to stop her, but fear turned my limbs to stone.
My dear sister, happy birthday.
Yet the nightmare didn't return, and the medical muttered on her wrist grew steadily. Sparkling embers were mirrored in her gaze as she smiled, and her hair fluttered like the night silk in the breeze. As the fireworks ran around us, I finally took the warm hand and extended toward me. And it was as if I was dreaming. I played out on the sky, had suddenly slammed me into the real world, and I collapsed in her embrace, and a bitter rage flooded my chest, and the unspoken words crumbled into shaky tears. Did anything happen? My nightmares struck like glue in my throat, and I blurted out a harmless lie. What a wonderful surprise! I never loved anything more, and I'll carry this memory forever. The baby girl's kids still play in the shadow, I see. Can I stay your little girl forever? Her answering sigh vibrated as she patted my back just beneath the familiar comfort. Dissonance hum. Our surrounding matched my memories perfectly, but the same rhythm felt wrong. Like another painting so violently yet refusing to blend properly. But where did it all start unraveling, and I couldn't figure it out, nor did I care to linger on it any longer. My gaze fell upon Ashley, whose smile seemed both familiar and distant. My hand sincerely reached out. Maybe I was simply clinging on the words I saw uniquely mine, desperately to prolong these fleeting traces. When the morning light awoke, we were about to leave, and Annie and her companions came to see us off. As they mentioned the long-standing friction and how tensions finally escalated last night, the passenger led us to discover an secret negotiation with investors to secure the viability of funding before she planned the exit, and will seal upon this revelation.
Wow, that's genius!
Come to visit us, okay? And they were so close, just like black sugar, camera-ready sisterhood, and at least that's how it seemed. Because beside me the world seemed almost perfect. Yet on it's not, and my reality clashed with some fragment memory. And my thoughts tangled of visions blurred a bit until I actually noticed my distraction and gripped my hand in concern. What's wrong? Do you have another nightmare? The one from her palm felt so real and tender that I instantly tightened my grip, that I tightly my grip instantly. A nightmare, maybe that's what it all was. As long as I can be here with Ashley now, that's all that matters. Another softly. Maybe it was a nightmare, but it's over. Let's go home, sis. None of that matter anymore. I just wanted to treasure every second with Ashley. That was all that I needed. Months flew by. I still returned from the island, and I got into Parsons School design just like I hoped. And then I made friends with Daisy and Lilia, and met Yukiko and Sakura at Prodigy Senior, who had already won a designer award but still seemed head over heels for her first love, Yosuke Miyano. And I saw the poster of Salome everywhere as the rising star, and even went back to the city of Eternal Night. The fire from my dream 15 years ago never happened, and the old slums were filled with shiny new buildings. I ran into Jane Lee, and she landed a promising job and was living a simple, happy life with her family. Everyone at Kara was safe and thriving, like that saying. Dreams and reality are worlds apart, and once you awaken, it's best to let the dreams fade away. It hit me hard, but how true that was. I should just showing up at Parsons to walk me home, and our boats plunging through the snow-dusted streets. Having spotted her in the crowd instantly, I darted over and dusted the snow off her shoulder. It's really coming down. Aren't you freezing? Artsy sister, your handmade cold, both cheek and cozy. I'm fine, really. With a quiet smile, she lashed her fingers through mine. Snow blistered our palm, and each melted the moment it landed, replaced by new ones. Two even stuck in the exact same spot, and time had paused. Kinda looks like frozen time. Ashley muttered as though that mirror mine, just as I had struck by our connection, her voice trailed off.
Even the
But even the
prettiest
prettiest
snowfall
has to
has
stop
to
eventually.
stop eventually.
A trace of disappointment flashed on her face, and I instantly held her hand in tighter. It snows not non-stop here. Come watch it with me anytime, okay? Let's try the grocery first. I'll walk your favorite tonight. I pulled her along the landing about campus drama while she was beside me with an endless smile. Wait, I've been yapping about me. What cases did you crack this week, sis? Ashley hesitated, then smiled faintly before speaking. Well, I sort of solved a case where a high-profile celebrity mistook a dog for a stalker. What? I heard of a similar case, but I doubt lightning would strike twice. This celebrity is Annie, isn't it? Ashley stiffened slightly, though she didn't seem shocked that I guessed. Yes, that's how we became friends, but lately she's been clashing with her group members. It's worrying. Her voice tightened with concern, and my mind raced, drowning out whatever she said next. Wait, didn't this happen before the island street? And why is she claiming it was last week? Is everything I'm seeing fabricated? I bit my lip, heart crushing the absurd thought. No, it's just a nightmare warping my sense of time. Snowflakes melted into acid droplets on my palm, and the cold seeped into my bones. Our conversation bristled with inconsistency, but I shoved them aside. Everything felt too perfect, and I wanted to cling to her hand forever to freeze this snow-falling time. After dinner at class, a chat erupted with an urgent homework demands. My computer had mysteriously crashed, so I borrowed Ashley's. Let me check the deadline. What's the date? I clicked the calendar and froze. Every time stuff, even the newest emails, was stuck on my birthday. I scrambled for other devices, but my phone was laid dead and my tablet glitched erratically, as if the universe itself was hiding the truth. But why? My thoughts spiraled until her voice snapped me back. Artsy sister, let's visit the island together next week. My stomach dropped. The island. I swore we'll return there months ago, and she gushed about the black sugar and the Pinterest island, the same details she mentioned earlier, and I realized that her memories had been tangled, but her bright smile pinned me in place. I couldn't ruin this. My questions is all on my tongue. Sure, what's the plan? To celebrate your birthday, obviously, and I got a surprise plan. So my mom and dad are still overseas for their research. Huh? My head spun with confusion. Please tell me more about it. I really miss them. As she said, our parents were academics who traveled the world frequently for conferences and research. She depicts how we had grown up in a warm, loving household under their care. A perfect life, a dream, so flawless. Figure drawings. Now that it was real, it only deepened the surreal haze around me. But now the truth was too obvious to ignore. This world wasn't my own imagined creation, and the sister standing before me wasn't truly Ashley. But the moment that thought flickered, a deafening hum flooded my skull, and the room melted into black and blank whiteness. Artsy's little head trembled, and her eyes softened into fog. When I tried to focus, hairlines cracks flick in the air itself. Everything screamed that I pushed for answer, and it could as if it would all collapse. I swallowed my doubts. This fantasy was so sweet that it left me uneasy. You're a clown, tú eres like a lifeline. Estás tocando la puerta. Shaking my head, I walked into the water before the grill. Can't wait to pack this house is swimsuit. Los nights, my Artsy sister always makes everything work. Son vendedoras. After believing my birthday countless times and mastering knowing the cracks in the logic. But slowly as she changed and she saw now for hours vacant. I watched me with a quiet sadness. Sometimes she would start her sentence only to phrase me a word. Llega un paquete. Then one day I overheard her mumbling by the doorway. Do I have to lose something I don't want to, but I can't? Lose what? What is she refusing? Why can't she escape? And her broken words explain nothing. Just someone that Dana knew she meant losing herself. Only it fit. And in this world I crossed and met up people like her would slowly fade into puppets, orbiting only me. But is this fair? No era nadie que conocíamos. I built this world, conjured this sister and this life, all to make everyone happy. Yet here I am, tapping them in my own loneliness. Am I just patching the holes in my regret? Even if she's not real, I can stand watching her ache. Should I shatter this dream? The thought cracked through me like a lightning, and so friendly, I heard the world begin to crumble. My footsteps were heavier as I neared her. Sunlight slanted across her temples, making her translucent. A honey glow trickles down the strands, collecting into tiny golden particles at the end. The sight felt so vivid. How could I go through with this even if I knew she wasn't real? And I tried retreating silently, but she turned at that moment. You look pale, let's get some air to clear your head. I expected her usual birthday invitation, the island given the timing. Instead she revealed an itinerary with a mysterious flair telling me to keep the whole day free. We began by combing through every boutique in the shopping district in the same places I used to drive her to as a child. And I pressed my nose against a display window, examining each garment, fantasizing about designing such creations. Well, I'm clearly aware that I could neither afford the clothes nor the design tuition. She suddenly accompanied me to the hours of window shopping, yet remember every unnoticed journey. Next came the amusement park, and though I never showed interest, she insisted that I shouldn't love such magical places. Or maybe she thought I deserved what others took for granted. They say that each Ferris wheel cabin carries a box of happiness, reaching to the top together ensures lasting bonds. I would shatter the fantasy before we touched the clouds. But after several revolutions, the words I needed to say stuck in my throat. The days stretched unnaturally long, as if sunset might never arrive. Yet night eventually devoured the sky, and despite our endless stops, in the art center there was an exhibition of in the art center there was an exhibition on Lynchua and Ashley's mentor, and I remember. Ashley suggested we pair a visit. Yet in the banquet hall, Ashley showed no surprise at the emptiness. The first painting showed butterflies with a scholarship son's dream of butterfly, and the second explored into abstract chaos, tangled spirits, and desperate seeking connection. The third, sick with oil paint, depicted a man facing in his mirrored image, both sunken in deep thought. Since when did the teacher and stuff become so inconsistent? as dread tightened in my chest and our party was drawing near. Just one day left and still somewhat unfinished. One knows if we have all the time in the world. A chill ran through me and my reply came out weak and utterly devoid of conviction. I said, sister, where would you draw the line between illusion and reality? The painting's visions crowded my mind, tripping my words. Butterflies dreaming of philosophers, philosophers dreaming of. I don't understand these paradoxes. I noticed I actually had sensed something too, and though some part of me still shrank from the truth. Start lying to yourself even if fantasy and reality blur. Illusions stay illusions. The real world should be where you explore and hope. As I looked around and only then did I see them paintings brimming with shards of our shared history. We stopped before the largest canvas. The surface rippled with trembling butterflies that seemed ready to awaken and break free. And I remember how these creatures guided me to the memory world in the mind simulation. Now they're inexplicably terrifying me, urging me to retreat, yet as we step forward. Do you love this place? I don't feel right, can we go home? I got her really steamy and her skin felt like mid-winter frost. She seemed unaware of the cold, mumbling. I like this place, and more than that, I treasure our time together. I'll do anything to keep you here, yet I can't decide for you. I go along with whatever you decide, I want to stay forever. Her glacial fingers silenced my lips, and the icy touch lingered before dissolving. This is truly what you want, no regrets. I just screamed that I couldn't linger in this dream or regret would follow. But by now there was no way of holding things back anymore. Still, I didn't want to be the one that ruins everything. I got it. It's fine, and think of me as snowflakes in your warm would melt falling ice crystals. Time flows, no balance, so no vantages in social life. You should soar free like butterflies and never caged by me. A hairline figure appeared in the void, hurriedly consuming hues, and reality crumbled domino like exploding glitch in emptiness.
Real or imaginary, I always hope you can gain true happiness.
Actually, no. Her hand turned cold and slid in through my grave with a twist of shatter. The universe quaked as countless frames collapsed and the memories shattering. Vivid scenes, tenderly kept vows, dissolving to pale sparks. And these fragile butterflies exploded to the canvases, spiraling between us and yanking her beyond grasp. And her smile me as she floated away, falling with a disintegrating world. No. And I laughed over desperately, but my hand sees nothing but the pale light of the flickering to the curtains. Don't leave me. A familiar context of my bedroom materialized around me. Reality. Reality. I've only returned a treasure that was never truly mine to its rightful place, and I lost nothing at all. Yet my chest burned with a hollow ache, and every breath escaped as silent as a whimper. Staring vacantly at the city, I strained to hear noises from the living room, but I knew they were illusions. This house has been empty for years, just me, always just me. Lying paralyzed for a while, I dragged myself to the robotic motion, changing clothes and washing my face. But when I opened my bedroom door, the world tilted. Colorful balloons floated near the ceiling and popping out a faint musical celebration. The table was full of delicacies dominated by cake, and my car reading happy birthday of her sister. I rolled my eyes into a sparks dance. Birthday, my birthday, who did this? Wait, you weren't supposed to wake up yet? As she tumbled from behind the sofa, glittering confetti stands caught her in her hair like trapped starlight. I dug my nails into my palm. This has to be another cruel dream. Yet the car restlessly ticking anchor the scene in reality. Not reality as it should be, but reality as it was, where Ashley existed as a memory phantom. Her glow wan and translucent, and then she would disappear the next moment. Tears breached their dam unexpected, trickling down my cheek. And as I furiously on my cheek, as Ashley rushed towards me anxiously. Did anything happen? Ashley, I had this dream. A perfect world where you never died, where everyone was happy. And I kept thinking if only you hadn't suffered, if pain didn't exist. And even though it's impossible, I wanted to stay. But the dream you said I shouldn't get trapped in an illusion, that I needed to come back. My voice faded to whisper, and she listened in my silence and then reached out to steady my trembling shoulders. You made the right choice. Reality might not be perfect, but it's real and solid. Isn't it nice now? But I just want you alive, and I want you to live fully and not disappear without warning. As long as I'm with you, I am alive, truly alive, no matter what form this takes. And I knew she was trying to comfort me, but this hollowness in my chest did not feel a little lighter now. It's you who makes this possible, this memory phantom I become. As a sister, remember, even if we have to say goodbye someday, as long as my voice and face stay in your heart, I'll never truly be gone. My heart quivers and I quickly wipe my tears and nod. Of course, I remember you forever, and I'll find a way to bring you back completely. I treasure every second we have too. That's the spirit, and we got much work to do, but let's live fully in each moment. Your friends care about you deeply, you know. Following her gaze, I saw a tablet on the table and a new notification payment in the inbox now glowed with dozens of already cards. Reading the ink of one by one, I felt better. Happy birthday, visit me, Ashley. Next time, no luxury island anymore, but my place is cozy. Can't wait to see you again. Yours, Annie. Happy birthday, wishing you soon every day ease in trouble. That if you want a dog, we're here. Problems shrink when we share. Yours, Daisy. As a sister, you're hiding your birthday, Uncle. If Daisy hadn't told me, this gift would have been wasted. But gifts aren't enough, and we'll throw you a party for you when you come back. Feel yourself on it, and I don't do this just for anyone. Yours, Lilia. Oh, P.S. Happy birthday. They're just, and I could practically see their faces when they wrote these. Memories cascade through my mind, and without me realizing so many friends across my path. And in my heart, I treasure countless moments with sheer laughter, tears. You're right, Ashley. Your life isn't some perfect dream, but everyone's got their own solid happiness. This is enough. Me too. And I still deathly Ashley in the dream place lingering at reality's edge until our hands met and fingers threading together. The solid happiness, as you said. Sunlight spilled through the window and was gliding our hair and shoulders, and finally our clasped hands.